MC muna godiya. Wannan waka ce mai kyau a cikin gaba da sa. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وصلى الله على النبي الكريم. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Comrade Aminu Abdulsalam Gwamnatin, Right Honorable Speaker, Kano State House of Assembly, Honorable Jibrin Ismail Apalgori, Your Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Kano State, who voluntarily retired on time because he didn't want to be among people that doesn't have the interests of the good people then. Professor Hafiz Abubakar. The Secretary to the Kano State Government, Comrade Dr. Bapa Abdullah Bichi, Chief of Staff, Rani Shewada Sadadi, Head of Service, Abdullah Musa, ably represented by the Permanent Secretary Establishment, Alhaji Muhammad Jami, members of the State Executive Council here present, special advisors, heads of extra-administrative departments and agencies, the interim management officers of the 44 local government areas, chairman of Kano State of our great party, the NLPP, Alhaji Hashim Dungurawa, chairman and members of the pension board of trustees, ably represented by the Commissioner 1, Alhaji Hassan Mohammed Amin, permanent secretaries, directors, other senior civil servants here present, of course, the representative of the National President, Nigerian Union of Pensioners, Chief Godwin Agomisi, ably represented by Alhaji Abdullah Yusuf, Chairman, State Union of Pensioners, Alhaji Salus Ahmed Bali, our comrade at arms, Chairman, Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Kabir Inua here present, Chairman, NTC, Comrade Hassan Saleh, of course other representatives of activists, civil society organizations, NGOs, donor agencies here present, the beneficiaries of today's program, the senior citizens, my brothers and sisters, together with the representatives of the deceased families, of the retired civil servants, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. It is with deep sense of duty and high sense of responsibility and fulfillment that I welcome each and every one of you to this very important state function, which is the flag off of the payment for the second phase of the entitlements of pensioners and retirees of the Kano State Civil Service. Today, we are going to distribute the sum of 5 billion naira to settle about 4,000 beneficiaries again. As you may be well aware, that in November last year, our administration had distributed the sum of 6 billion naira to deserving pensioners and retirees who have served our state diligently and retired due to old age or years of service as provided by the civil service rules. Let me say that when we came on board in May 2023, we inherited a pension system that was deliberately broken, chaotic, and confused. Pensioners were not being paid their entitlements. The few ones that were likely to be fed had to surrender a substantial percentage of their benefits before they get paid. The balance of their benefits. The system was so corrupted that even the monthly payment was marred by irregular and illegal deductions, as was proved by the chairman in his speech, such that no one has any guarantee of how much was their monthly pension, because the deductions were arbitrary and unpredictable. Let me equally say that immediately we came to office, we stopped all deductions that were being made on the monthly pension and all illegal deductions from the emoluments of even the civil servants were also promptly stopped. We inherited a liability of unpaid pension gratuity and health benefits of over 43 billion naira that the immediate past administration deliberately refused to settle. I'm happy to once again say that so far, from the 6 billion naira of the first phase we settled, the retirement gratuity and death benefits of over 5,333 pensioners as follows. 1,291 state pensioners whose gratuity was between 1 million to 2.5 million naira were all paid. 1,440 local government pensioners whose gratuity was between 1 million to 1.5 million were also all paid. 988 family scales of deceased civil servants were paid their death gratuity, comprising of 355 families of deceased state civil servants whose death gratuity was between 1 million to 3.5 million naira, and also 633 family sales of deceased local government staff whose death gratuity was between 1 million to 3 million naira. The balance will be used to settle the settlement, the entitlement of 1,216 state and local government pensioners gratuity whose screening was recently concluded. Let me say that in this phase 2, which we are applying today, the sum of 5 billion naira was set aside to offset the pension liabilities of about 4,000 pensions. Let me equally say that we have developed an objective criteria which we believe will not only protect the pensioners, it will also ensure transparency, openness, and accountability in the implementation of the policy. In this case, number one, the beneficiaries of state gratuity whose entitlement is between 2.5 million naira to 3.5 million naira will be paid. Beneficiaries of state death gratuity whose entitlement is between 3.6 million naira to 6.9 million naira will be paid. Equally, beneficiaries of local government gratuity whose entitlement is between 1.6 million to 2.6 million will also be paid today. Beneficiaries of local government death gratuity whose entitlement is between 3.1 million naira to 5.9 million naira will equally be paid. To ensure strict compliance with the above guidelines in the disbursement of this entitlement, I am announcing a high-powered committee comprising of representation from the following. Number one, from Pension Fund Trust, from Sharia Court of Appeal, from the Office of the Head of Service, Office of the Accountant General under the Ministry of Finance, Office of the Auditor General, State and Local Government, Ministry for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. After the conclusion of this 11 billion naira pension entitlement during our first year in office, and will continue with the third phase in the couple of months by the grace of Allah. Let me equally assure you that we shall continue to offset the backlog of pensioners' entitlements until we clear all the sum of 43 billion naira pensioners gratuity that the previous administration refused to pay. It's not. It is gratifying of our administration in promoting the welfare of the pensioners in all ramifications, so as to make the retirees and the deceased pensioners' families to live a comfortable life. At this juncture, distinguished compatriots, both pension and gratuities are rights, not privileges. I keep saying this because you sacrificed your life. You worked for the government. Day in, day out, you put in your best. And it is according to the law that when you retire, you are entitled to pension and gratuity. We are only trying to process what is meant for you because we have deep concern for your welfare on this stage. Our administration was brutal to the pensioners. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to support you. Many of your colleagues have died waiting for their own right to be paid. Whatever the case may be, one has to bear in mind that we are not going to live for life in this world. Whether we like it or not, we also have to die. And we'll be taken to the grave, and we will answer for our deeds in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is therefore a debt on the shoulders of the state. And since the state has benefited immensely from the services of these pensioners during their active and useful years, it is the responsibility of the state to pay them whatever is due to them promptly, especially now that they are old and weak. That is why our administration places high premium on the welfare and well-being of the pensioners and retirees, as well as the families of the deceased pensioners. Ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate that as part of our commitment to the welfare of pensioners, we always pay the monthly pension to all pensioners on or before the 25th of each month. We do this without any arbitrary deduction, contrary to what was being done during the previous administration and for 8 years. At this point, let me seize this opportunity to most humbly thank the national leadership of the National Union of Pensioners, especially the President, Chief Godwin Abba, who traveled all the way from Abuja last week to present to us a very historic award at the most friendly pensioners, the most pensioners-friendly governor in the whole country of Nigeria. Let me say that such recognition serves as an impetus for us to continue to do well and deliver more programs and projects to better the lives of the good people of Kano State. On this note, and in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for the overall well-being of our great and respected pensioners, the senior citizens of both the state and local government, I flag off the second phase of the payment of gratuity and death gratuity to pensioners and heirs of the deceased pensioners in the state. Let me equally speak about what my brother requested about the payment of the monies that was deducted by the previous administration. Let me say unequivocally that those deductions were illegal. Those deductions were against the norms of the culture of the good people of the state. The deductions that were made by the previous administration was done because they are corrupt. The state chairman of the NUP, Salisu Ahmed, requested and mentioned that the present administration should consider repayment of the backlog of those deductions. The reason that is very clear is that the money were never ever sent into the government account. No kobo has been reflected in the treasury of the state government. We don't have any record because they were using consultants to deduct that money. Therefore, what except no thank you and God bless all of you. By this, I want to declare that I flag off the second phase of the payment of gratuity, as I said, for the benefit of all the pensioners, as well as the families of the deceased. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.